Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Rich.
Here.
Alkire. Liggins.
Here.
Paul.
Here.
Dowdy. Randalls.
Here.
Behringer.
Yes.
Mallett.
Here.
Okay, we need an approval of the minutes of the regular session of April 4th, 2023. Do we have any questions? Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we need an approval of the bills. Any questions or concerns about that? If not, we'll need a motion to approve the bills. Karen, you have a question, ma'am?
Well, we didn't vote on your previous one, you just took a second and stopped.
Okay.
Okay, vote, yeah.
On the minutes.
Yes.
Minutes all approved? All
Aye.
all opposed? Motion carried.
Good.
Okay, now we need an approval of the bills.
I make a motion that they be accepted.
Second.
All
Aye.
all opposed? Okay, we need a motion for the travel and training requests. I think we had 3. So if you would have any questions about that, we want to look those over.
I move that we accept and approve the travel and training as presented.
Second?
Okay. I'll vote for approval.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay. Where are these?
They aren't.
Right.
They're not in.
Okay, so we'll skip over.
What's this?
Okay, well, that's it.
Years of service, that's this one.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda, we have some presentation plaques for years of service to the city of Butler, to city employees. I don't think everyone's here. Okay, this is kind of new to me. We have Carrie Smalley here.
No.
There you are, you're hiding back there. You're a neighbor. This is in recognition for Terry Smalley's 25 years of service with the city of Butler.
Thank you.
I didn't see you on that side. Okay, we had, we just announced that.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda, we did have a presentation of plaques for some of the older city council members, the council members leaving, but the plaques have not come in yet, so we'll have to postpone that. Okay, the next thing would be to accept the certified election results from the county clerk.
Would you like me to read them? They were in your packet on the results of the election. If not, would you like me to read them or not? If you've read them.
And we need a motion
We
to
need a
accept
motion to
the
accept.
election results as presented.
Make a motion that we accept the motion.
Okay, we need a approval vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Well, John Sella, you know there is a reappointment of Mayor Pro Tem. I'm just saying.
Okay. The next thing on the agenda is to administer oath of office to newly elected city council and reorganize new council. So, we have 4 council members elected. If you come forward.
to repeat after me. I solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Missouri, the provisions of all laws of this state affecting cities of the third class, and the ordinances of the city. I possess all the qualifications prescribed for this office by law, and I will faithfully demean myself in the office to which I was elected on the 4th day of April 2023 in the city of Butler, Missouri. You can take your seats.
Roll call, review for Councilman Hobbs.
Okay, are we ready? Do roll call. Rich?
Here.
Alkire?
Here.
Liggins?
Here.
Paul?
Here.
Wayne Scott?
Here.
Randalls? Here. Behringer? Here. Mallett?
Here.
We have 4 ladies and 4 gentlemen on the council. That's kind of that might be history in the making. That's kind of neat. Okay. Now it comes time to elect the mayor pro tem. Obviously, I'm the current mayor pro tem. So, we have any nominations for a mayor pro tem?
Can we stay with the status quo? Do we have to change?
We don't have to, but
I move that, I nominate Becky Randalls. But it's always open for other nominations too.
yes.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no other nominations.
No other nominations?
You close it.
So we'll close the, Becky Randalls is the new man.
You gotta vote.
We got a vote.
You gotta vote on it. You gotta vote on it. Yeah.
Okay, everyone in favor of Becky Randalls being the mayor pro tem?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. You're it, girl.
You're finishing today though, right?
You wanna start now? Okay. Approval of the agenda, additions or deletions. Did we have any? Vote
Not
on
that I
that?
know of.
Okay. Scheduled guests, none. It shows on the agenda. Scheduled guest business, none. Committee reports, Public Safety Committee. That would be Don Sella.
Oh, yes, the Public Safety Committee meeting, we did meet tonight to discuss, a possible ordinance for the chickens and the rabbits. This is a very enlightening topic, and we want to make sure that we do our due diligence and make it as simple as possible. Unfortunately, we could not make a solid decision tonight. We would like to ask the code enforcer and also the animal control personnel. We're inviting them to come to our next meeting because we do have some questions that we want to ask of them as well, and we want to hear their comments.
Okay, thank you. Have any questions? No? Okay. Thank you, Don Sella.
You're welcome.
Okay, we move on to boards and commissions. The Park Board.
We got close to a quorum, but we did not make it, so we more or less discussed a few things about the repairs and how the summer is moving forward for the park department, and that was about it at that meeting.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Okay, the Airport Commission, I'm the council representative on that. I was not able to attend. Did you go, sir?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. The Airport Commission had a quorum, and the topics of discussion were the lease that is being prepared for Tracy Burns Custom Crop Dusting and the airport management out there. So there had been some discussions and some issues that is not going to allow the airport manager to continue out there except for, let's just say he's taking a sabbatical for right now. So, and we are in the process of finalizing the lease for the airport. I'm hoping to have that probably in the next couple of days. So, outside of that, that was all that was discussed.
Okay, thank you.
So what happens if we don't have an airport manager? Is that like an appointed position thing, or do you hire,
No,
or?
that was a hire,
Okay.
right. And like I said, I believe right now they've got mowing covered out there. He will be in and out, but he will be gone for a period of 3 months. So during that time frame, the airport commission is going to take care of the mowing and stuff,
Oh,
so.
so we don't have to replace him, we just have to.
No,
Okay.
like I said,
The planning commission.
There was no planning commission meeting in this month.
Okay. Then we move on to unfinished business. We don't have any recording yet. Be ready for the public hearing, please? Okay. Next thing on the agenda is a public hearing concerning the RV park at 100 South Grand Avenue. We open the public hearing.
right. This is the public hearing for a conditional use permit from Sanjay Patel at the location of 100 South Fran. This property is located to the east and southeast of the Days Inn Hotel. This is the second time that the application has been presented. The staff and I have performed our due diligence on the application based upon information given to us and the criteria in chapters 26-2, chapters 26-136, and chapters 26-241. We have determined that this application does meet the criteria given. Included, and that would be it. So, now you can call on Sanjay to make his presentation.
Mr. Patel, if you'd like to make the presentation.
Yes, so I've been involved in this town since 1999, since 24 years. I bought the ground and from the porter, I think, and built the Days Inn, and then within 10 days we got other hotel acquired, and then since then we are involving in town. My kids born in this town, and then they grow up, and then after 5-6 years we moved out to Kansas City area, and now we are also involved in the liquor store, and then maybe in future some other businesses too. But with your blessing and everybody we like to put in the RV park, good presentable RV park, which is not long stay or ugly looking or anything like that, which is my architect, and they have exactly what it should look like. And today they will show you what we're going to do, so everybody likes. We like to get your approval or whatever we can do to make it work. I would appreciate it. So I'll tell Scott, not Craig, to go ahead and do the presentation.
I'm not always good with those things. I have hard battles. A few that I can share. Some large, some small.
Want us to pass some down?
I have large ones and small ones.
Oh, my, okay. they're the same though.
Yeah.
Probably good stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's a,
Two more on this. Especially when they come. We can all have one now.
Okay. Same thing. It'll be a little easier to handle. Sure. You can make your point out. So by now, you guys have all thumbed through the stuff, so I'm redundant from what we've got is, the first image is just where the property is, and then we go into what we want the property to look like. What we're excited about is,
What's your name for the record?
my name is Craig Shaw, the Shaw Hofstra Associates, and this is Scott Tillema. Also, with Shaw.
Scott Tillema, Tillema.
Sorry about the lack of introduction. So the first image is where the site is. And the second image that Scott's going to click on here, I think, is page 2.
I know, it's my page down now, I can see the dark.
That's okay, you can deal with it.
Okay.
So, although this is really dark on the screen, you've got the hard copy. This is what we envision this property to look like. Landscaping, generous amount of space between units, and it's geared to be a short-term parking space for recreational vehicles. I spend a few nights in town, spend some money, and then go away. There is no long-term stay. Part of the packet that you have are the rules, the proposed rules for the RV park, which limit the time you can stay there, what you can do when you're there, walk your dog, pick up after the dog, those sorts of things that are generally understood. So it should be a totally controlled environment. Again, we're looking to landscape fairly aggressively so that we have a more park-like atmosphere and hope folks enjoy it. We've got some rules and regulations that we propose for the park, and would be interested in any concerns that you all have that we can address. But we look at it as a real amenity.
I'm looking at the 15 days. I made sure that was in the conditional use permit if we, last time we voted on it, but it didn't pass. But the 15 days to me, if they have to move every 15 days, they're not gonna basically trash the place. They don't have time.
Right.
So, that was my stipulation in the permit. If I'm gonna put it back in this next one to make sure, so that 15 days does mean if they're there more than 15 days and we catch them, then you can also lose this permit, which means you can't go any longer. So just so everybody's aware, I know that's your rule, but Well, I'm gonna put it in the conditional use permit also.
Understood? That's why it's there.
When they renew it 15 days, do they have to move sites? Or can they pay and stay 15 days in site number one and then pay and stay 15 more days?
That was my question.
Site number one, or do they, after 15 days, is there rules about?
They have to leave the park.
I think they have to leave.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I was under the impression that they would at least have to change stalls.
At least change
Different
stalls,
spots.
okay, okay.
I have a question. If you've got 15 days, who's going to police that? If you're asking the city police to do that, that's frankly not their job.
No.
They don't have time for that.
It's the management
Management
of,
will manage that.
that would
So,
be this
Okay,
gentleman.
since my property is right next door,
Uh-huh.
your proposed RV park,
we can hire you to
I'd like to
manage
see
that
it,
if you
I'd
like.
like to see a before and after picture of what you've got.
Sir, are you finished with your presentation? Yeah, I'd like you to finish your presentation, and then we'll open it up for questions and let the public talk. Rather than getting in a big question,
Well, I think you've gone through the things that we have to share. You've seen the plan, the vision with the landscape and stuff once it's completed. So basically, yes, I think I'm through with the presentation and ready to deal with your questions.
We got some more.
Pardon?
We have some more words for you, the city. So again, the neighborhood. One of the concerns is, you know, this is not right on Front Street. This is not right on, Fort Scott Street. It's behind, everybody.
We're sort of surrounded by other stuff.
So this is not front and center. And again, as you're looking, you know, West Fourth Street is a main thoroughfare, 22. You're not seeing the parking lot, you're not seeing the RV, you're seeing the other businesses that will help be beneficial to the RV park. Gas station, liquor store, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, bank, go get your money. So the neighborhood.
Folks will spend money.
And then, so these are sort of like, this is what, you saw the computer rendering. We'll show you the computer rendering, but this is actual live version of what the concept is trying to be like. It's not a mobile home. It's, you know, the car is very nice, well maintained, concrete, asphalt drive, concrete pads, no furniture, no laundry or anything like that. Just,
We don't have any public facilities other than,
staying out.
charging.
Grass between the landscaping. And then, again, the rules, yes, the rules are part of, Michael helped say, they were in the.
That's part of the condition of the conditional use permit.
Part of the condition.
Is the page and a half of rules and regulations.
All that's gonna be in the conditional use permit?
Yes.
Alright.
I have a question.
And how many stalls again, if you could remind me?
22.
22 stalls?
22 stalls.
24?
Let's see,
it's 24.
well, let me grab my stuff. Sorry about that.
Between 22 and 24.
Let me grab my
Okay.
sheet back here, hold on, sorry about that.
The facilities that you do have, though, the restrooms and
Yes.
showers and things, will those be locked and the only people that are there, do they get like a key or something to access? Or are those 24-hour open?
No, I think, do we have one?
We don't have.
We don't have.
Oh, I
one.
thought
No.
it was.
Yeah, there is a
that.
toilet, there is a toilet.
It says maintenance
Yeah.
toilets,
Yeah.
that's like.
Maintenance toilets, oh, but it's for like dumping it, okay, okay.
So yes, you're correct.
All their own amenities that they're driving up in.
Okay, so there's no showers or anything, no dump stuff, got it.
24 total spots.
So you will have no single individual water hookups for them? They will have to have their own water contained in their units, their travel RVs or whatever? Or,
The high-end
Right.
ones, the
We'll
ones in
have
the middle for
hookups,
fire,
yes.
the fire
Sure.
trucks, we have water
Sure.
hookup.
mhm.
Or just a dump station?
Dump station, electricity and
But
water.
their sewage would be that dump station that you're talking about previously.
Correct. But otherwise, we have electricity and water to the.
Electricity and water to,
To each
All,
To each tab.
To the middle row stalls at this time.
mhm.
The cheaper ones, if you want to have a cheaper rent, just park and stay. You have your own, we have the outside back in stalls. We have, so it'd be 11 stalls with water and then 13 without water.
There's no sewer on any of them, just a dump station?
Just dump station.
Most campers can't hold gray water 15 days. They
Right.
don't have that big a tank.
Okay, but the map does say toilets,
Yes,
so there are toilets for use those day, or like,
yes.
okay, so are those locked, or are those accessible, open to 24 hours for campers?
What's, Sanjay, your guideline from previous?
I wouldn't put, probably, my suggestion is not to put the toilet, take it out, and probably have a, no public toilet, I think, we'll take it out.
So we'll take the toilets out.
If there were toilets would be there, it would be for the maintenance, for the
Yeah, for the
on-site
manager,
manager.
or
Okay.
somebody.
Okay, so locked
lives there.
still.
Yes.
Yeah, for the manage, if somebody would manage property, they might live and use that, or their
Okay.
use it,
Okay.
or not.
So it's not used for campers, then, just for
Campers,
the
right,
management?
These things all come with their own toilets.
yeah.
And your entrance to the RV park, again, has changed. It will not be an entrance off of Sunset. It will be through the front parking lot of the Days Inn,
That's correct.
That's correct.
And registration with the registration we days in.
done after, yeah.
Right, and then out that, yes. The back end would be for emergency exits, emergency vehicles or any far, one in a million thing, just have an extra, just in case.
So that actually gonna be gravel or blacktop or the emergency?
Must be
asphalt.
blacktop,
asphalt.
yeah.
Asphalt.
Well, if you're through with your presentation, if you have more to show us and tell us, and then we'll I know the public has some concerns, we'd like to speak up, and then the council, I really don't want it to get into a thing where we're asking 2 or 3 different people questions, and, that's confusing.
Let you guys take over.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, we'll turn the lights back on.
Our image just went away.
Now, this is a public hearing, so probably the best way to address this is if you're a business owner or a member of the public in any capacity, if you want to speak, raise your hand and we'll have you come up and give your present. What? Yes. We would like you to keep your concerns down to 3 minutes if humanly possible. But if you'll If you gentlemen that have made the presentation want to say more, on your behalf, then feel free to do that at this time. But
I think we'd be better served to respond to questions.
Okay. Okay. Who would like to speak first?
I am a citizen of Butler, and I have been a business owner in Butler. I have some concerns with the location of the RV park. If the units are allowed to self-contain, I have some concerns with how it's,
Would you state your name, please?
Trish Newkirk. I have some concerns about the units being allowed to self-contain. They do back up, that facility does back up to those apartments
Okay.
where there'll be generators running, how our sewage spill is going to be handled. There was a very good mention of the 15 days. A unit can't self-contain for 15 days. So I have several concerns, particularly about the location, but my main concern is about the maintenance and the ongoing appearance of the RV park. What I have passed out to you is the first page is the overview, the GIS, shows where the park is presented, is A there in the circle. B is Mr. Patel's current facility at the Days Inn. And this is not intended to directly be a slam at Mr. Patel in any way whatsoever. I think council's number one responsibility is the future of this city. Right now, an RV park looks good. I'm really glad to see the pretty renderings and the trees. The concept looks awesome. If you will look at your packet that says B, I wanted to make sure that I connected my dots, so that Mr. Patel does own the property B, which is the Days Inn. I would draw your attention to the current violations of city ordinance of that property. Dumpsters overflowing, trash on the floor, a pile of debris. The next picture shows a vehicle that is inoperable. It has a flat tire. It has no license on the front or the back. The next page is some reviews from TripAdvisor from that facility in Butler, Missouri. 54% rate that facility as poor or terrible. Again, it's the future of our city, ladies and gentlemen. The pictures look pretty, the idea looks great, but this is something that's going to be at our main hub of Butler, Missouri. Every traveler that comes through here, if they're just getting fuel, if they don't have an RV, they're going to see this facility. So now let's look at the group called C, which is the facility that was the Super 8 on the other side of the highway, that again, I did my due diligence, made sure that Mr. Patel shows as the owner. Picture number 1, that is the pile of trash that is in the current dumpster enclosure. That facility is piled with trash in multiple locations. There's windows broken out repeatedly. There's glass on the floor. The fence is falling down. Again, concept versus reality. I've included several pictures. Shopping carts, not painted. And I'd like to draw your attention to the last document in that C packet. It is the revocation of the corporation that holds that property. Mr. Patel has abandoned that property to the point that he is not even maintaining the corporation that owns it. That's the difference in concept versus reality. Okay, let's say those are motels. That's a different deal. Talk about an RV park. Thankfully, in this process, Mr. Patel mentioned that he had a similar facility operating in Platte City, Missouri. That would be your Exhibit D. That is an overview of the travel lodge and the RV park that lies to the north of it. Mr. Patel has presented rules and regulations. That's awesome. I have great concern with the fact that he was going to be self-policing the facility. It's not in his best interest to run people off after 15 days. They're paying customers. The first picture in that packet D is the RVs parked in the street, parked in the motel parking lot. The next picture is mattresses and tires and trash piled up around RVs. The next picture, a little closer, that's clearly tires, and I'll let you choose what's in that other pile. The next picture with the mattresses, the unit next to it has a window, air conditioner shoved in it, and something covering an opening. Again, the one that has the Cherokee RV in front of it, more trash, more piles. The facility in Platte City is anything but what we would want to see in the city of Butler. I offer you to flip through that, look at the trash, look at the just horrible state of disrepair of that facility. We'll go to, we have a TripAdvisor motel review. Couldn't find a review of the RV park. 65.5% rate that motel as poor or terrible. Mr. Patel has a history, established business practices of letting his facilities fall into a state of disrepair. That is why I vehemently object to this project and would encourage the council to mind the future of the city of Butler.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have any other person who'd like to speak?
Well, sure, you know I never miss an opportunity to do that,
I
right?
need to correct that, what she's talking about.
Go ahead, I think you should have a chance to correct.
Go ahead.
So, great homework that's, that she did, that's all my property and reviews and everything, I appreciate your time and effort. But first of all, she brought the Travelodge flat, that RV park, I sold that RV park in 2006. I am no longer owner of that. She's talking about the properties of vendors, we stopped that, the Super 8 is closed since 2020, since pandemic, and we're trying to see if it's, what we can do. We are talking to some trucker, truck stops, or somebody who can bring the truck stop or something else, what we can do, or if we can sell it at a good price, we can sell it too. So we are opening that, so that's not running since 2020, and when we were running, it was presentable. We had no problem with anybody in the city to run that two properties since 24 years. Brought the brand new Days Inn. We were in the, on the first page of the newspaper, and that brought the nice property and everything. Nobody had any concern, and we ran that since 24 years, and we still at the, in this kind of business, lodging and this kind of business, you will have every step of the way that some people will like it and some people will don't. So it doesn't matter, that what you see is matter. What she told them, that's after it's closed. And the Travelodge is after I sold. This is when I was there since, yes.
I don't want to argue your point, sir, but you did tell us at a previous meeting that you owned that property.
I used to own that.
Flat City.
Yeah.
You told us you owned it at that time.
Yeah.
But you had a business just like the one you want out here in Platte City.
Yeah. So, if I say that, that's, I no longer, you can check the record and see, I don't have that since 2000. I sold that in October of 2006 to the Sri Hari, it's investment. I'm no longer not in anywhere, that's I own that. So, after that, I don't know, I don't pay attention what they do, So,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
you're not on trial here.
Uh-huh.
The
Yeah.
thing it is, what did the property look like when you sold it? And if you, I'm being a little, maybe I'm out of line here, but if you
Yeah.
couldn't make it work there, what makes you think you can make it work here?
What the reason I sold that property, I had Travelodge and Super in Platte City. I sold both property to build another one in the Olathe. So I transferred all my money to the new property and built the brand new property in Olathe. And I'm running that, you can check the reviews on that, how I'm running and everything. It's a Holiday Inn Express on in Rogers Road in Olathe, South Olathe, nearby the medical center. So, welcome to see that, and we can discuss anything for that. That's currently, Days Inn is I'm a part owner, I'm a part owner of the Days Inn, and also a member of the corporation and everything for Days Inn. You can look at that. But what she brought is, it's not, it's closed
These
or not.
pictures are disturbing.
Huh?
These pictures are disturbing.
Yeah, but it's,
Not only that, but you want to put this in our central business district. I'm biased here, but these pictures are,
yeah, but it's not,
we certainly don't want this in our community.
I know, that we showed you what we like to do, and then, if you have any concern on that, you can talk about that, but we don't want to talk about the previous thing I owned and all that, so.
If you don't have anything further to say at the moment, sir, I'll
Okay.
have someone else come up and talk.
I'm Don Whalen, I know everybody here. I've been in business since 1964. That doesn't make anything special. make it any better than anybody else. I've seen a lot of things come to Butler, and they have been good things. We've missed some opportunities, as all small cities do, but we tried our best to get some places to come, and they went somewhere else. My concern about this is, what's the city's responsibility for this as far as infrastructure? Are they going to require us to provide electricity? Are they going to provide a paved parking lot? What about restroom facilities? Who's going to be responsible for maintaining that? There's a lot of questions I don't think that have been answered or addressed here from these people wanting to do this. And I think the only thing we really need to take a really good look at is I won't ask for a raise of hands, but if you would just think about this, would you want this built next to your house or your property? That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Any further comments or questions? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my name's Grover Jackson.
Grover Jackson?
Grover Jackson.
Grover, okay.
Yeah, my grandfather used to own the Ford dealership here in Butler. Sold it to Kenny Barr and everything. I've been working maintenance at the Days Inn for about 5 years now. And there's just, it's night and day from the maintenance that was done before, water research and as far as putting in more efficient lighting, things like that I pay attention to, and I've worked at the place in Holiday Inn Express in Olathe. And I'd challenge anybody to look at that property and find a flaw. I mean, with any kind of anomaly anywhere on that property. It's absolutely immaculate. And I would be a part also of, you know, getting involved in this situation as well. You know, because, you know, I believe in doing things right or not doing them at all. So that's what I would be dedicated to. So.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Any further comments?
For the record, Dale Newkirk.
Yes, sir.
So, anybody here bought a brand new car?
Can't afford it.
Super cool when you first get it, right? It's new, it's shiny, does everything it's supposed to do, it looks great, people like it. That's what this is gonna be. It's gonna be great. I think your renderings look really good. And it's nothing personal. If you wanna build a restaurant, whatever there, more power to you. I'm sincere in that, okay? But not an RV park, okay? I mean, there's just some things here when I look at the records that don't really add up to me. I think I know what happened here. I'm just speculating. He formed his corporation in September of 22. On the 7th, he bought the property in the corporation name on the 15th. Mr. Patel's a pretty smart guy, okay? I don't think that he would have done all this if he hadn't thought that he was going to get some kind of a green light from City Hall. Is that accurate?
I was hoping that.
So, you know, in a lot of ways, this reminds me of the beef plant thing out at the Thorco building. What a mess. So, I don't know how we got here, but I can tell you this. In 20 years, that RV park will not look like those renderings. Mr. Patel's a very smart man. There's numerous ways to operate a business, right? Some people just keep putting money back in their business, right? And it just grows and grows. They take care of their stuff. Mr. Patel liked to milk the cream off the top. He owned the Super 8. It was a nice place. And he built the Days Inn. And I appreciate you sincerely. I've been a businessman here for years, spending your money in Butler. So he built something new across the street, and now we've got a derelict property across the road. So I would urge the council to vote against this.
Yes, sir, Mr. Patel.
So we tried to run the both hotels, and we saw that this city does not have does not bring the travelers enough to survive two hotels, and we have incurred a lot of expense, and we didn't make very much money to running two hotels at the time. Since we closed after COVID, the one of them, most of the business went to the Days Inn, and so the Days Inn is doing similar to the two hotel business in one hotel. So actually, that was a reason to close that, because we don't have much transit people to come and stay at over here. That's the reason we closed it. So it's nothing that we don't like to keep it open. We like the hotel business. I've been in the hotel business all my life, 30 years, and I like hotels. So I wouldn't close it if it makes money, but we need business to keep the doors open. And so one hotel will do the thing for this community. Well, we close the one. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so,
There's a lot of competition in the hotel business. They're getting ready to build a big one again in Pearsonville,
Oh, yeah?
and it's 30 miles closer to the city.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Yeah.
if I may ask Mrs. Newkirk,
Yes, sir.
this picture here, and then the one of the vehicle with no tags and the flat tire,
Those were taken Easter Sunday, and I went out there before the meeting tonight, and those
All
are
still
still
there.
that's
sitting
the
there.
condition of
It's
it?
all still there.
Current
The condition of
condition
it today?
and
Okay.
violation of city ordinance.
Okay, so I would like to ask, you're the maintenance man at the Days Inn?
Yes, sir.
So, did you see this picture, and then Mr. Patel, why is that car there with no tags and a flat on it for the long haul?
Right here at the hotel town.
Right at your motel in town.
The Buick Rendezvous, there was some travelers that
No, that's the one here in town that you own.
No, this is the
This
Days
is
Inn.
Days
That's
Inn.
right here in Butler.
This is Days Inn.
yeah,
That's someone.
that vehicle, there was some travelers in that vehicle and they blew a head gasket. And I tried to help them with it, all I could. They ordered some parts and everything, but it was unfixable. And so they went ahead and just got a bus and went down south, and they signed that car over, but the title, you know, had to travel through to the owner, where they signed the title over. And so he just recently got that, and that vehicle will be getting,
How long has that vehicle been sitting there?
3 months?
3 months.
Yeah.
What about the condition of the dumpster
Was right on that, wasn't it?
and this other picture here?
The
The dumpster overflowing and whatever that is, I don't believe it's snow.
No, it's a pile of like concrete debris or something. It's a pile of debris.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks,
Concrete,
okay,
yeah,
it
that was
almost
from
looks like snow, but obviously it's
construction.
not the grass is green.
It's still there.
On the right side.
And I've been trying to get people to come and, you know, I've been offering it up to people for fill or whatever, and I thought, you know, I mean, haven't really, been real adamant about that, but I mean,
Right.
I could, I mean. it
I'm
could be
just
taken.
trying to get some of these concerns out in the open.
I understand.
Mr. Patel says he doesn't own the one out of town any longer since '06. But obviously, Mrs. Newkirk says these are current pictures, and I believe her. There's no time on them anywhere, but I believe her. So,
Now, this-
we just wanna do what is best for the community, and we wanna hear both sides, and we don't wanna be snowed or any of that from either side. We wanna deal with it realistically. And if this is in any way possible to turn out at that RV park, if it was to be okayed, then the council would be feeling like they've been played for fools.
If I may say, now this is really not common at all for that dumpster to be like that at all. That's very uncommon.
How long has the pile of concrete debris been there?
Concrete's been there a little while. It's been there a little while, I have to admit, but the dumpster is not ever overflowing
It's
like
due to the
that.
high wind, it's never, we had an ongoing problem to keep that looking. We had nice door, we fixed the doors about more than 10 times, but it doesn't stay like that, and
Run into
the
it.
town, and I don't know who does this, but they don't want to come in and put it in there. I mean, they are refusing to service that if it's in there with that kind of door, so that's why it's outside.
Well, you see our concern, Sanjay.
Yeah.
You see our concern and the community's concern about this RV park. I mean, so. All right, thank you.
Mr. Malin?
I got one more thing. I
Yes,
asked
sir.
for a copy or a picture of what the before and after was, and I did not
Can
receive
you
it.
talk louder, please?
I would like to get that, and I also want to know where the entrance, which has been changed 2 or 3 times, I want to know where it's gonna be. I think I'm next door.
Does the emergency exit, will that be open? I mean, you can't really lock an emergency access, but what, so it's just gonna be like posted emergency use only, and we're gonna hope that people read the sign?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
No people can read stop signs.
When you read them at night.
I mean, you can't lock an emergency access, I get that, but.
I would like to close the public meeting at this time. I think we've probably accomplished what we can do tonight. Did you have, are you a legal representative or you're the
Architect.
If you need to speak? Okay.
One comment about the concern about what is it gonna look like 20 years from now? It's gonna look better. The trees will mature, the landscaping will have matured. It's gonna be a better looking property than it would be the day one when the trees are little guys as opposed to big guys. So it can only mature and get better.
Well, in a perfect world, that's correct, but we have no idea what the world will look like in 20 years, here or anywhere else. So at this time, I'd like to close.
I got one question. So there is no sewers on any of them, or some of them have sewers, or is there just a dump station?
It's just a dump station.
I guess my issue with that is, like I said, most campers can't sit there 15 days without dumping somewhere, especially the gray water. So no sewer kind of concerns me there.
If you're opening it to travelers, you have people who come through with small campers that only want to do for 2 or 3 days and stuff. What are you gonna do with them?
I'm being corrected as we sit next to the owner. We'll put sewage hookups at each pad.
Would that go in the city sewer system then? Okay, so they would pay fees then, just like water, like we do.
1 meter.
1 meter, they would still.
Yeah, I thought that's how it is, but I didn't know.
Right, yeah, right.
Denny,
Yes, sir?
my name's Lynn Nitchie. I just want to clarify something so I understand. You told us that you don't own the place at Platte County, is that correct?
Yes.
Then why did you tell me I had some relatives that was coming into Platte County and wanted a place to park their RV, and he said you own that up there?
No, a relative one.
I'm just asking you. That's what you,
It's on our family, but I'm not the owner.
Yeah,
It's
we
in
are
our
our
family.
family.
so who owns it?
It's my brother-in-law.
Well, he said you all own it.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
So the planning commission did recommend this, right? They've studied this and looked at the plans and they've
two tries, the second
That's
try.
my
you did.
understanding
Second try they
based on the
did, okay.
information they had at the time.
Okay, well, I'm concerned about the campfires. I don't think they should have a right to have campfires.
I agree.
That's an accident waiting to happen. Some kid gets playing with fire and you're gonna set the whole town on fire. So, just a thought process.
Yeah, it's not.
So, I would request that we table this and further discuss it. At the moment, I'm not quite sure what that's gonna look like and how.
Well, when you vote on it,
Well.
Oh, I'm just saying, we didn't say in here that we as a council have a right to table this.
Yeah, we have the right to table it or vote
We
on
can
it
go into
tonight.
closed session.
I know.
we got a lot of information thrown at us tonight. I want to be fair to both parties. We spent a lot of money on this, but I also understand, like Don with adjoining property, I've been in his situation before with a permit, conditional use permit, so I understand his feelings. So to be fair, I think we should absorb some of this information and table the vote for tonight so we can be fair on this for both parties. That's my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
So, do I have a motion to table this issue to a later date?
Yes.
Second.
Opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That ends the public hearing at this time. We move on to bill ordinances, resolutions, policies and proclamations. There are none this evening. We're down to reports. The city clerk.
Cory wanted me to, be sure and tell you, Marlene and Nick, that we have elected officials.
We're still having a meeting, so
We can't leave then.
you can leave, but quietly, please.
Your statements, thank you all for your
Thank you.
consideration.
Cory wants you to know that there's an elected officials trainings conference on June 8th, and he highly encourages new people to go and get in touch with him, and he will set you up. It's on June 8th. And then he also wanted to remind you that we have the lawyers have their training 5 places and 5 times, and Mike's going to on the April 28th one, aren't you?
21st.
So if you'd like to go, get in touch with Cory and he will make sure he gets you there. And welcome to the new members.
Yeah. Okay, the police chief, I think he stepped out. City attorney.
I don't have a report other than what she just mentioned. We have our city officials training coming up, and I would encourage anyone to stop by and watch our presentation. So that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. City administrator.
Yeah, I had something on there. There we go. Okay, just to let you know that, for you guys to remember that you are serving at the Community Cafe on April the 25th. Please be there by 5 o'clock. If you cannot attend, please let the city office know.
What was that date?
5 p.m.
What was the date?
25th.
Next
That's
Tuesday.
the Nazarene Church, right?
Nazarene Church, right.
Yeah.
We're just serving, not
We're just
cooking.
serving, we're not cooking.
That's no cooking.
Cory knows our limits.
And that's at 5 o'clock.
The only other information that I have for you this evening is in regards to the fire station roof. In your packets, there is a anticipated schedule from Alga Martin, which is our engineers. It is anticipated that April 20th, they receive the specifications for details from our engineering. May the 4th, they advertise for the project. May the 25th, we receive bids. June the 1st, we make recommendations to award. And June the 6th, council to vote on awarded contract.
Okay. Okay, we skipped over the police chief, he stepped out, would you have anything to say, sir?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Public Works, I think we had something in our packet, didn't we?
Right.
Code enforcement,
Nothing at this time.
thank you, sir. Fire chief?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. And the mayor couldn't be here tonight, I'm acting on his behalf. Now we're down to councilman. I usually go first, I have nothing to add this evening.
I really hope that this works out for the fire station's roof. I actually stopped by and checked it out, and it's in very, very poor condition. And a lot of the roof is missing off of it. There's about, I think I found about 47 spots possibly where it's leaking. It seems like it might fall in a little bit in a few areas as well. So I really hope that we get this taken care of.
Yes, exactly.
It's been moving for a while. Don Sella, thank you, Neil.
Yes, nothing's been reported to me to bring up before council, but I had a couple questions, well, a couple concerns. So first of all, I want to have some special prayers for Corey and for Delbert, who's had surgery, for a speedy recovery. Also, I know that Delbert's going to be out for a while, but do we know anything about the cemetery signage? You know, that was approved within the budget. So I didn't know where he left off with that, or?
It has been, yeah, he never did progress with it,
Yes.
so.
So even though we approved it, we're not gonna do anything about it right now, or just wait till he returns?
Wait till he returns.
Will we be having a cemetery commission meeting to
Yes.
discuss it?
Right,
Okay.
but I would like to have Delbert involved with it.
Sure, okay. And also, I gotta put my glasses on, sorry. Let's see, I know on the AMI, we're waiting for some of the equipment to come in May, but I still have some concerns that's just hitting that intuition about the software implementation. Are they gonna come and hook up everything, and who's gonna be responsible for that on our end? I mean, has all that been worked out?
Yes, yeah, Taylor, which the one we use for our computer software, they already have, they're already in the process of getting with, thank you, Corn Main and Census in order to be able to hook up and start integrating the two systems.
So they're gonna come and hook it up, and then they're gonna train our personnel? Who's gonna be the contact back and forth?
That I don't know.
Okay. I think we need to kinda ask about that just to see. I'm not an IT person, I just know just enough to get by, but I know there's a lot of work involved, probably on our end, that maybe we're not aware of, that they're telling us.
Correct, right now, more than anything, it's just, right now, they're installing the hardware,
Okay.
so.
Hold on. Oh, and I just want to say congratulations to Mr. Smalley for his years of service.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have.
Jeff Hall.
Can you explain that piece of paper that we got tonight from the engineers for the fire station roof?
Okay, I would, that was one of the information that I was going to run past our attorney to determine whether or not we can go in closed session for it, but since it's already been brought up, it now has to be part of the open discussion. The email that you had received on your desks is in regards to the roof. Kurt has been in contact with Miller Engineering, and there are 3 options that are available for the roof process. And they are wanting to know what direction that the council wants to move. I can tell you right now, Trent is not here today. He's been on vacation for a couple of days. Option one was to add tapered insulation so that the roof doesn't pond water like it currently does. It utilizes a PVC membrane. You can see where the cost estimates are between 1, 2, and 3. 3 option is what we currently have. Those prices came in at roughly what we had, a little less than what we had budgeted for.
Option 3 did?
Option 3, correct. We're talking about somewhere around the 250, 275 range. So, like I said, option 1 is their recommendation, and we're looking at a significant cost over of what we had budgeted.
So what about option 2?
Option 2 actually costs you more.
More than what?
Than option 1. So, but like I said,
How long's the warranty good for?
if you go to option 3, there is none.
No, option 1. How
That-
long is that warranty good for?
That I do not know.
Well,
That
that would be,
was-
that would be useful information.
Okay?
Marlene,
What do we have in the budget for the roof repair?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What is the amount in the budget for the roof repair?
Right now, we had currently budgeted $335,000. However, we do have some additional funds available to us if we chose to do that, additional monies for that option 1.
Additional funds from where?
That would be from the restricted funds on the 10 fund and 20.
So 335 is what we have, so you feel confident that we could do the 5?
We'll
Is
have
that
to.
real? Yeah, really, we do not want to do one without a warranty.
Right.
I mean, no warranty.
That's probably because that roof is so flat
Yeah,
that they can't guarantee that the water's gonna run off there, because
Yeah.
when I was up there, it was nothing but puddles everywhere.
Right.
And then if
Yeah.
it goes back to the way it was, it's not gonna be fixed.
So what's this very bottom one down here, where they say main roof twice, and then that says 600 to 650,000, what is that?
Okay, the first one is option 1, the second one is option 2. And then the third option was between 250 and 275. It did not copy on that.
So it's gonna be June before we figure this out?
It'll be June before we actually,
Get the bids?
and
I mean, this is-
authorize who to award the bid to.
And then we don't know how long it's gonna, before they start or none of that.
Not at this time. Kurt and I have talked about a timeline of around September. But please do not hold me to that one. That was only discussion.
No.
That seems like a long way away.
It's a long way
For
away.
a building that has no roof on it.
Yeah. So what about the inside of the fire station? What's gonna happen to that?
That will be taken care of in phase 2 and phase 3.
yeah.
You guys ever been in there before?
Oh, yeah.
Just the other day?
Oh, yeah.
Just the smell of it or anything? You
Yeah.
notice that?
Right.
Yes,
I
yes,
think it needs to move a little faster.
yeah, I think the sooner the better, yes, but,
I don't know how you're gonna make it move any faster.
Is that all you had, Marlene?
Yes.
Becky?
I was excited by I saw some activity at the swimming pool today, so that's exciting. Hopefully that means summer's coming. I like to see that they're getting prepped for that. I reiterate again what they have both said about the fire station roof. If we need motivation and things to keep us on track, perhaps we should have our meetings in that building. I mean, we ask all of our other people to have meetings there and meet and sit through that.
Yeah.
Perhaps as a council, we need to go sit over there to maintain our focus, if that's an issue. So I would just throw that suggestion out there. That's all I have.
Okay. Carmen?
Have anything other than the roof thing, and I was there a week ago, and I agree with Nick, it needs help desperately, so it's ruined fire equipment and some stuff like that, so we need to get it taken care of.
Yes, yes.
I know it's hard to find help. I don't know anything about the roofing business, don't want to, but I had got some friends who wanted to build a house, and they were told there's a 2-year waiting period before we can even consider getting to you. I know that happens, but wow, we can't let this go any longer. Scott?
Don't have a whole lot, just wanna thank the city employees. We're still running short on equipment. But the men are working together to achieve what comes their way to do, and, I just wanna say thank you to them. So, keep them in mind that something you see that needs addressed out there might not move too quickly, but our men are moving on it as quick as we can. That's all I had.
Okay. Move on to new business. We do not have any on the agenda. Media questions. Mr. Mayor?
No.
Okay. We move on to closed session. Need a motion to go into closed session.
I believe that we go to closed session, second.
All in favor?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, no, that's a roll call.